एतद्वैतत् यतश्चोदेति सूर्यः अस्तं यत्र च गच्छति तं देवाः सर्वे अर्पिताः तदुनात्येति कश्चन एतद्वैतत् यदेवेह तदमुत्र यदमुत्र तदन्विह मृत्योः समृत्युमाप्नोति य इह नानेव पश्यति मनसा एव इदमाप्तव्यम् मनसैवेदमाप्तव्यम् नेह नानास्ति किंचन मृत्योः समृत्युं गच्छति य इह नानेव पश्यति। Now it was said, this Mahavakya, Yadeva iha, that which is here, tadamutra, yadamutra, tad iha. So Jiveshwar Aikya is very clearly mentioned. And one who does not appreciate this Aikya, non-duality, mrityoho samrityum apnoti, the fellow goes from death to death, means series of pains. Always painful experiences. Life is, our existence is full of pain. For whom yaha naneva pashyati, who sees the difference, who sees the Veda. Now, here the next mantra it is, says, Manasa eva idam aptavyam. Idam means Brahman. Idam means this identity. Identity between Jiva and Ishvara, non-duality. The vision of Brahman, or the vision of identity is to be gained or has to be gained through mind only. You have to gain this identity through mind only. Neha nanasti kinchana. Nana means plurality, not mother's father. You know, mother's father is not there. Nanasti kinchana. That means there is no plurality. And one who sees the plurality, iha nana iva pashyati. The one who sees the plurality, saha mrityoho mrityum gacchati. He goes from death to death. Means continues, same karma phala. Now just understand this. There are two types of vakyas you find in Shruti. Yato va are. Yato na tatra vag gacchati, na chakshur gacchati, na manaha. There the speech doesn't reach, mind doesn't reach. Kena Upanishad Vakya. Taritriya Upanishad kya hai? Yato vacho nivartante apraapya manasa saha. Why? Speech means all karmendriyas return back along with the mind. So mind also returns back apraapya, without gaining the Brahman. You cannot gain Brahman through mind. And when we say identity, when we talk of this identity between individual and the total, we are referring individual as the pure consciousness, as Satchidananda Atma. that Satchidananda Atma which is beyond all this, which is Sakshi, which is a witness, witnessing body, witnessing senses, witnessing mind, witnessing intellect, witnessing ignorance. In that sense it is beyond. So we are talking of Atma which is beyond all this. So obviously it is beyond this, you cannot gain it through mind. And now it says you have to gain it through mind. Manasa eva. Through mind alone you have to gain. You see, Nihananast aptavyam, it has to be gained through Manasa aptavyam eva. Evakara can go both. Through mind you have to gain only. So life is meant to gain Atma. Another thing, Manasa eva. Through mind alone you know the self. You gain the self. Why this contradiction? See, this is where you need teacher. This is where you need tradition. These Western scholars didn't understand, didn't have a teacher, did not understand Shastra, and therefore one of them has said it's a prattling of the Rishis. Bada. Because Virodhavasa, there is a contradiction. The whole Shastra is full of contradiction to resolve the error, not to create new confusion. Why should Rishi make pravritti to create confusion? They have a pravritti to resolve. Like Arjuna says, third chapter, you are confusing me, as though. It is Bhagavad pravritti, the Ishvara's initiative, Krishna's initiative to teach is to create his doubt. Pruchhami tvam dharma sammuda cheta. Bhagavan started teaching not to add to the doubts. Why should he add to doubts? Both ways, he being Bhagavan would not do that. And he doesn't have time for you, at least to add doubt. Why should you waste time? This is, even in the world, those people who are committed to some higher goals, they are not interested in even answering those impeachments done by little people, mean fellows. Always leader has some blame. You are like that. They don't care to answer. When they don't care to answer the impeachment on themselves, why should they create something for that fellow? Why should I waste my time to portray this fellow as bad or worse? Why should I? I have no time. I keep doing what I have to do. Similarly, Bhagavan has to handle whole worlds. Why should he care for you? So also Rishayaha, ahetuka daya sindava. They were the embodiment of compassion. And whatever they did, it was only to help the humanity, not to create further confusion. If that is minimum and this is understood, then when I look at Shastra and find contradiction, I should look at myself to resolve contradiction, not straightway blame the Rishis. They would never do that. And this is where you have to go to tradition. Okay? And not understanding this, simply translating this to such mantras, Yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasa saha na tatra vag gacchati na chakshur na mano na vidma na vijanimah. There is a Kathopnishad. And two mantras are there. Na tatra vag gacchati na manah na vijanimah, etc. She says. And their mantra is Yato Yat chakshusana pashyati yena chakshumsi pashyati and manasana manute yena manaha manute. Like that mantras are there. So you have to go mind beyond mind. Simple translation. Go beyond mind. When you talk of going beyond mind, common fellow knows only sleep. Go beyond mind means sleep, that's all. That's all happens in meditation. When I take meditation classes in Rishikesh, she came, quite a few are senior citizens. Everybody wants to meditate. I generally don't like to take personally, but just study, then do nididhyasana. But they want meditation. Now in youth camp also he says, no, Swamiji, you should take meditation. Okay. And senior guys come for meditation. Another thing is, in all our ashram, food is fairly good. Not so good like our Rajkot ashram, but they are there. And then senior guys. So in meditation, lights are off, and when you say go beyond mind, they go to samadhi. And in not only, see, he is a blissful, but rest are disturbed. All quiet. So a whole class listen. That corner, this fellow is beyond mind. This beyond mind is a concept which creates. You want fan?
Mosquitoes.
No, it will not affect you. Switch it off. With this repellent, mosquitoes lose balance. Yeah, so they will fall now after half an hour. You will see. They will not bite. They can't sit. They are so uncomfortable. Don't worry. So they just go to samadhi. And that is why in English, such a sleep is called sound sleep. Sound making sleep is sound sleep. Madhyam pad lopi samasa. This is missing in Madhyam padam. And all these so-called neo-Vedantic teachers go beyond mind, meditate and realize. Therefore you should meditate and then realize. When you meditate, with what do you meditate? You have to meditate with mind. Meditation without mind is sleep, that's all it is. So again, how are you beyond mind? And first and the foremost thing is to know something. Meditation is not a means. Knowledge can take place only when adequate and proper means of knowledge is employed. Pramana Vyapara must take place. Otherwise knowledge doesn't take place. No, I am meditating. Otherwise children would be happy not to go to school and meditate for 3 hours. Everything is memorized. It doesn't happen. Meditation is not a means for knowledge. It's so simple, but meditate. And then again there's a go beyond mind in meditation. How can you go? And therefore there is a confusion, and in which they create a new confusion. To go beyond mind in meditation means be thoughtless. That's all most of these yogis talk, even Vedantic teachers talk. Be thoughtless. Why you waste time? Why you waste energy so much to be thoughtless? He has to practice and practice and practice and practice. And for 2 minutes I was thoughtless. For 2 minutes. Why you waste time? Go to one black guy in US who is XXX. Say some bad word and get one on the slap. You are thoughtless for 6 hours. You become thoughtless for 6 hours. You don't need anything, meditation. And this is called, too much of cutting corners. Then the Westerners came up with the simplistic solution. Beyond mind means meditate. Meditate, that is also involves mind, be thoughtless. So they developed something new. To be thoughtless, why should we practice yoga? दम मारो दम मिट जाए, हो गया, खत्म. I am thoughtless. That's not a point. Understand? When there's two statements clearly, when you say mind cannot know, yato vacho nivartante aprapya manasasa. When you say shrot manaso mano yat vacho na tatra vag gacchati na manaha, mind cannot reach, it only means to say, remember this clearly, that it is not an object of mind, full stop. When it is said mind cannot reach, means where mind can never objectify. Why mind cannot objectify? Because it is the very subject of the mind. Mind is mind because of which? Shrotrasya shrotram manaso manoyat vacho vacham. The self is ear of the ear, mind of the mind, and speech of the speech. That means it is the self. Exactly like, I can explain, Sanskrit word for hearing is better. Shrotram means ears. In English we call ears. In Sanskrit and Gujarati we call Shrotram. What is Shrotram definition? Shruyate anena iti Shrotram. That by which you hear. That is Shrotram. So this cannot be called Shrotram, because by this you don't hear. This cannot be called Shrotram, because by this you don't hear. This cannot be called Shrotram, because by this you don't hear. This cannot be called Shrotram, because you don't hear. Only this thing. Shruyate anena. That's a very swarupa of ears. That's a nature. Now if it doesn't hear, then it cannot be called Shrotram. You cannot hear from this nose, therefore it cannot be called Shrotram. So if this cannot hear, this is also not worthy to be called Shrotram. Simple. In Gujarati they say, typical mother-daughter dialogue. And when mother shouts at daughter, then she doesn't reply. And then she comes and says, Kaan hai ka kana? Do you have kaan? Matlab, Hindi mein bhi kaan, ears. Kaan hai ka kana means hole. Khali hole hai ka kuch hai andar. That's what they say. So it is only kanu. It is only hole if it doesn't hear. And there is a special design. You see this engineering. Otherwise Bhagavan would have put two buttons. You can plug off. Suppose you don't want to hear, you can plug it on. That's it. I don't want to listen to you. The married life would have been happy, some of them. Some of them would have been happy. So it is designed. Like in another thing comes to my mind in Gujarati, this tube light is a typical colloquial word. There is a tube light, but when it is not working and they put it down, then the electrician will say doko. There is a word, it's no more a tube light. It is tube light only if it illumines. This is ears if it only hears. But hearing capacity of the ears, thinking capacity of the mind, manute iti manaha, by which you think. Thinking capacity of the mind, seeing capacity of the ears, eyes, means what makes eye as eye, what makes ear as ear, is because of consciousness. It is a consciousness which empowers, which is a consciousness which gives the capacity to eyes to see. Aankh se ke bakora, the typical Gujarati words. It gives a capacity to see. Because of that consciousness only I see. Therefore, because of whom eyes can see, because of whom Mind can think. That vastu, mind cannot object it. Because it is the very self. Exactly like this bulb provide light because of what? Electricity. Or a refrigerator cools the thing because of what? Electricity. Your room heater heats the room because of what? Electricity. So this bulb cannot illumine electricity. It can illumine the world, but it cannot illumine the electricity because it is the very self. That electricity gives a capacity to bulb illumine. Freeze cannot convert electricity into ice. Oh, electricity got cold and it became ice. No, because freeze made it cold. No. Freeze can never impact any which way to electricity because it can never become an object of the fridge. Electricity can never be an object of these bulbs. Electricity can never be an object of room heater. It is the self. So mind cannot objectify. That's all the meaning. Na tatra vag gacchati na manaha. Yad manasa na manute yena ahur manormatam. All these mantras indicate just as eyes can illumine, objectify all the colors and the forms, just as ears can hear all the sounds, similarly it cannot hear or it cannot see with the consciousness. That's all. Okay. Now, what does it mean by manasa eva idam aptavyam? You have to gain by mind only because it is to be known. You have to gain by mind means it is to be gained by knowledge. What can you gain by knowledge? See, by knowledge you do not lose anything and knowledge cannot make you gain anything. Action can make you gain. Action can make you lose something. But knowledge like 2 plus 2, 4. What did you gain? What did you lose? Nothing, except 2 things. By knowledge, you lose ignorance. Correct? And by knowledge, you gain something. It happens, you can gain by knowledge when the thing that you gained was already with you and you were ignorant. Oh, I got it, you say, Like typical modern day problem, they look for mobile. They put somewhere, hey, have you seen my mobile? I have lost my mobile. They talk in the home. I have lost the mobile, I have lost the mobile. Then he would say, hold on, I'll give a ring. She calls his mobile number. And it rings. Where? In a wardrobe. While he was taking some new clothes, he had put the mobile and forgot that. Oh, then he goes there and here. Did you got it? Yeah, I got it. How can you gain mobile? By knowledge. How did you gain by knowledge? Because it was already there. Yet, aptavyam, to be gained, attained. The thing attained happened to be with me already. Knowledge helps me to gain if I was ignorant about this. Saying, this fellow gained a fortune, gained millions of rupees. Oh, how did he gain? He found out his father had kept an FD of 5 crores of rupees in his name while he was removing father's clothes after his death. Suddenly became rich. He became rich because he already was rich. He didn't know that I have a fixed deposit in my name. So, knowledge helps you to gain a vastu which is already prapta. Therefore, manasa. And knowledge can take place only in mind. You cannot have knowledge by any other. They say, no. If you try to study Vedanta and understand Vedanta, it is intellectual knowledge. You have to convert intellectual knowledge into direct experience. But every knowledge is intellectual. Can there be intestinal knowledge? No. Can there be liver knowledge? Can there be kidney knowledge? Intellectual only. You don't understand. The problem is of not knowledge, problem is of habitual error. Fellow needs nididhyasana. Anyway, coming back to this, you need a mind to know. What kind of mind? Very beautiful adjective. Bhagavad writes, Prag ekatva vijnanat, before gaining the knowledge of non-duality, Acharya agama samskrutena manasa idam brahmaikarasam apta. Which mind? Technically called samskrutena manasa. Samskritam. Even proper samskaras means has proper attitudes, has proper knowledge about the facts of the life. That is called Samskritam. And Samskritams, that means value adding. Mind which is valuable, means mind living a life of values. By what? Acharya agama samskrutena. The mind is qualified. How the mind, first of all, which mind? Samskrutena manas. How mind became Samskritam? Samskritam also means pure. Samskarana, purification. How mind became pure? Then he says, Acharya agama samskrutena. It is purified by Guru. It is purified by Shastra. Both. How does Guru purify the mind? It doesn't use the word Guru, it uses the word Acharya. Who is Acharya? Achinoti cha shastrani. Acharya sthapyata pranapi. Swayam acharate yasmat acharya iti chochate. Chinu vistare. One who can expound the Shastra properly as it is. One who can communicate the loaded meanings of the Shastra. Achinoti, who knows the Shastra. Then, Achinoti cha shastrani. Acharya sthapayatya pranapi. Apran, shishyan. Acharya sthapayati. Acharyas mean maryadas. Do's and don'ts. Make sure that they follow do's and don'ts. Establishes the students in the achara, means gives them necessary wisdom and commitment for acharas, for maryadas. So they naturally follow the maryadas. By how does it do? By adesha? By order only? No. Swayam acharate yasma. His very life is exemplification of what he is to teach. Life is example. So he himself lives a life of values. He or she herself is living those acharas, those maryadas, and that inspires the students to own up. That motivates the students to own up. That is Acharya and Shastra. You have to have what? Understanding of what is proper and improper through Shastra only. And both are necessary. If only Guru is giving that Adesha, then you don't know what he talks. These are modern Gurus. Sampradaya Gurus. So many gurus have become Bhagavans. There is a population growth in gurus also in India. And there is a population growth in Bhagavan also. Because local Bhagavans. Human intellect is limited. However great the person may be, as I had told earlier, you cannot become limitless. You cannot become all-knower. Why? Becoming all-knowing is not possible. Any limited thing cannot make you limitless. If it is all-knower, you should be all-knower, that's all. And that can be only one Ishvara. So there is always a limitation of buddhi, of understanding, of wisdom in any one being. The teacher, however great, but he doesn't become Sarvagna. He doesn't become Sarvashaktiman. So whatever he says is limited. Therefore Shastra is necessary. He will talk, whatever he talks is comprehensive or the holistic, what is mentioned in Shastra. And as I said, otherwise some of the Shastras and some of the things will be Kapola Kalpita, self-imagine. Vimanam will come. At the end, Viman is, do this, the moksha is final. I am giving you moksha. All is all self-imagined things. It doesn't stand any kind of logic, much less it stands the Shastra Pramana. There will always be limitation. So only Guru is not useful. And only Shastra is also irrelevant because it is a jada. Shastra has to be made live by teaching of a Guru. And Shastra, suppose you know the translation, that also is not enough. Yesterday that minister was telling me, no, we didn't study Veda because there was no Gujarati translation available. I said, Hindi was available. First of all, I said, no, Sanskrit is our mother tongue. Now we have changed to local languages. When I went to ashram, I didn't know Sanskrit. I had Sanskrit in school, but it was for scoring marks. Because it was considered in the result. And all that school Sanskrit is only mugging up. Rama, 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 all that. And examination was only translation. Translate this from Sanskrit to Gujarati. So you remember, you mug it up some important thing, and then you know this is how you translate. And translate some Gujarati into Sanskrit. That also you mug up the chapter and do it. There was no Sanskrit. Give reference to context to this sentence. That also we have to write in Gujarati. So it was a good scoring subject. Most of them kept it. And once you are out of the, and I studied, it was 11th, not even 12th. School was, after school there were 4 years. Now it is 3 years straight. So didn't know much Sanskrit. And I was weak in English also, Gujju medium. So when I went to ashram by 25, somewhere like that age, and to study, I had to study 2 languages. And Sanskrit, Vyakaranam started. English was required only functional. This is a functional, I have to answer. My professor used to say, don't be afraid. Sanskrit is in DNA of every Hindu. If you are born Hindu, it is your DNA. You can learn at least basic Sanskrit. He used to give confidence. So, I said Sanskrit was our language. Yeah, but then even if Sanskrit is there, how many people know? I say Hindi was available. Yeah, but then if it is in mother tongue, it makes difference. In mother tongue, it may create more confusion. Like Bhagavad Gita, everybody writes. Swam confused, Anyan confused. He himself is confused by writing all kinds of commentaries. And all kinds of people write. Politicians also write. That ex-Prime Minister Morarji Desai used to give lectures on Gita. There is Nan Sutakno Sambandha. You have no relationship. You are a politician, that everybody comments. And now Gujarati is available. But this, to understand a word, you need to understand the previous word and the next word. To understand these three words, you need to understand the whole sentence. To understand the meaning of the sentence, you have to understand the meaning of the next sentence and previous, contextual. To understand this chapter, you have to understand previous chapter and next chapter. If you know all this, why should you study? So you need a teacher who has studied from his or her teacher, who has a whole vision, and then study. They know the whole context. Then you can study from that teacher. Therefore, both are necessary. Acharya is necessary as well as Agama is also necessary. So, that Agama Samskrutena, that mind which is purified by Shastra and Acharya. Okay? That mind, through that mind, you can gain the knowledge. Nehananasti kinchana. Manasa evam idam aptavyam nehananasti kinchana. There is nothing multiplicity in this creation, and whatever that multiplicity is there is only an apparent division. Okay? Manasa, samskrutena manasa, pure mind. Called ekagra mind, focused mind, clarity, together mind. There is no emotional and intellectual, cognitive conflict between. Emotion says something, my wisdom says something. That conflict is not there. That is a person who has pure mind. In other words, through the qualified mind. Mind that is qualified for knowledge. Idam Brahma Ekarasam. That Brahman which is non-dual is to be gained. Aptavyam. How you have to aptavyam? Atmaiva nanyadasti. Here it is gaining. Apti means prapti. You have to gain Brahman. Does it mean Brahman is away from me? No. If something is away, then I have to gain. If it is already with me, how am I to gain? Like, if someone tells me, Swamiji, you need to gain your upavastra. Swamiji, you need to gain your glasses. I am wearing it. No, what I mean was a new glass. That is a different issue. The thing which is there, how is it to be gained? He says, Brahman, though it is already gained, but it is not gained as though because of ignorance. So Brahman is to be gained means one should work for removal of ignorance. One should pursue himself or herself so that this knowledge is gained. And I gain moksha. So gaining moksha is only figurative. It's figurative statement. It doesn't mean that. Gaining is in a sense of knowing. What does it know? There is no duality. That's all you have to know. Now here he says, if one doesn't know, mrutyaha iha naneva pashyati. Okay? One who sees nanatvam, one who sees division, one who sees duality and takes it to be real, that person mrutyoho mrutyum gacchati. From death to death means all the time he is suffering from unhappiness all the time. Mrutyosya mrutyum gacchati ihananeva pashyati. One who sees himself as many. Acharya agama samskrutena manasa. Samskrutanam. That means we have to make the mind Sanskrit. That means as of now it is a Sanskritam. Suppose I say you have to go to temple. That means as of now you are not in temple. It is a presumption. How come he says aptavyam? He says in ignorance it was felt and pursued that I have to gain the self. In that context it is said that you have to gain it, but gain this way. But teacher knows there is nothing to be gained and nothing that I lose. Okay? There is no loss and gain. But as long as there is an ignorance, and our ignorance born wrong conclusions about oneself, and thereby one finds oneself to be limited. So it is said you have to gain limitlessness. But there is no gaining as such involved. Okay? This aptavyam is gnatavyam. You have to gain, means you have to know. And by a qualified mind, not simply mind that is qualified, mind that is ready, mind that is mature enough to appreciate the self. That person should gain through self. And Yahananeva Pashyati. Earlier line says this wise person doesn't see any divisions, doesn't see any Veda. So there is a question to him that Mrityusa Mrityum Apnoti, he has nowhere to go. But this is for primarily ignorant person. If the mind is not susamskritam, then it is incapable of knowing. And then, being incapable of knowing the self, the Jivatma continues in the cycle of birth and death. Till that fellow gains a new birth in a human form, until you get a good teacher, study Shastra. Until you want to study Shastra, you may get teacher. But I don't want to study. There are so many people. Swamiji, you talk great. Swamiji, especially if you go to South, they will just tell, Swamiji, this typical Tamilian, what a lecture. And next, I thought he is very sincere. Next day he disappeared. I was there for 5 days, never appeared. You were there? What to tell? So gaining teacher is not enough. Having Shraddha is also not enough. People have Shraddha on Guru. But for what? Give me mantra diksha, make my son-in-law settled, so that my daughter-in-law becomes happy, my daughter becomes happy. Not that. Gaining knowledge, mokshecha. That mokshecha is possible only in Samskritamana. Only in the mind is pure. Otherwise it is not possible. So this fellow, when he manasayavedam aptavyam, when he gains that, what does he gain? Gains the self, Satchidanandatma, samrutyum gacchati, mrityoho mrityum gacchati, ananeva pashyati. So this is nanatvam, manyness, multiplicity. We'll see next mantras. Okay, let's read it out first at least. Angushthamatrah purushah madhya atmani tisthati ishano bhuta bhavyasya na tato vijugupsate etadvaitat angushthamatrah purushah madhye atmani tisthati ishano bhuta bhavyasya na tato vijugupsate. Here Upanishad mentions this, what something that was later on very popularly mentioned in Yoga Shastra. You don't say, listen to the language. Upanishad mentions something which was later on very often mentioned, quoted in Yoga Shastra. People say that this is what Bhagavan says. He is telling what Yoga Shastra says. योग शास्त्र का आधार लेके भगवान बोल रहे. योग शास्त्र पैदा ही नहीं हुआ. And he was there, Patanjali was not there, he was much before. So I said, he is telling something which was later talked in Yoga Shastra. This Purusha is Angushthamatraha, is of the size of thumb. Acha. And who is he? Ishano Bhuta Bhavyasya. He is the Lord of past and future, and he is dwells in it, in this body. Ishano Bhuta Bhavyasya. He comes later. Madhya Atmani Tishtati. Purusha resides in the center of the body, and that Purusha, that is the past, future, Ishana Bhuta Bhavyasya. It is Ishana, master of the Lord of Bhuta, Bhavya and Vartamana. And when one knows this, tataha na vijugupsate. There is no jugupsa, there is no shok, no bhaya. We'll see at 10:30. Om Purnamada Purnamida Purnamudachyate Purnas Tvameva Mata च पिता त्वमेव त्वमेव बन्धुश्च सखा त्वमेव त्वमेव विद्या द्रविणं त्वमेव त्वमेव सर्वं मम देव देव सर्वं मम देव देव ब्रह्मानन्दं परमसुखदं केवलं ज्ञानमूर्तिं द्वन्द्वातीतं गगनसदृशं तत्त्वमस्यादिलक्ष्यम् एकं नित्यं विमलमचलं सर्वधी साक्षिभूतं भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. भावातीतं त्रिगुणरहितं सद्गुरुं तं नमामि. सद्गुरुनाथ महाराज की. ओम नमो भगवते वैवस्वताय. मृत्यवे ब्रह्म विद्याचार्याय नचिकेतसे च 11th mantra. मनसा एवमिदमाप्तव्यम् नेह नानास्ति किंचन मृत्योस्स मृत्युं गच्छति य इह नानेव पश्यति. अंगुष्ठमात्रः पुरुषः मध्ये आत्मनि तिष्ठति. ईशानो भूतभव्यस्य न ततो विजुगुप्सते. एतद्वैतत् अंगुष्ठमात्रः पुरुषः ज्योतिरिवा धूमकः ईशानो भूतभव्यस्य स एवाद्य स उष्वः. We saw manasa eva midamahtavyam. Knowledge has to take place in mind, through mind, so that is the only means to know. But then, not simply any mind, mind that is Samskrita. Mind that is valuable mind. Samskrita mind means Shuddham Manaha. The mind which is endowed with proper values, proper attitudes, and which is together. In one word, there is no conflict between emotive I and cognitive I. That is a mind. That manasa. Eva idamaptavyam. By that mind alone, you can gain. This problem of this meditation, confusion about meditation comes because people think, having heard, I could not own up the knowledge. Therefore, I have to meditate. They say intellectual knowledge because they can't own it. That problem is because of lack of preparedness of mind. By meditation, nothing is to happen. Come in. Nothing is to happen. He will remain as he or she is. Only thing is, he or she needs to have little more purity of mind and little more focused mind, sukshma and subtle. Or you can say, the person has conflict between the emotions and his or her understanding. He or she understands the truth, but somehow the wisdom, new wisdom gained at the feet of teacher is hijacked by certain habits, is looted away by certain reactions. Like he may just get into Dehatma Bhava, get into Vishaya Vasana. That time wisdom gets clouded. So problem is not lack of knowledge, problem is lack of owning up of a knowledge. And the problem is lack of being a together person. In the Gitaji's language, yuktatva. Yuktahara viharasya, yukta swapnavabodhasya, yukta cheshtasya karmasu yogo bhavati dukkha. That yuktatvam is necessary. Emotions, past samskaras, take away the wisdom. That should not happen. So having heard from a teacher, still person conducts. That means he or she needs to process it out. Some cobwebs, you know. वो झाड़ू लगाते हैं, निकालते हैं कचरा, corners, some corners, some undigested, unassimilated experiences, emotions are creating problem. That has to be given up. That's all. Angushthamatrah Purushaha Madhya Atmani Tishtati. The Purusha is of the size of thumb, and which is what it is. Where is it? It dwells in the heart of the body. Madhya means heart, is the center point. The Purusha is of the size of thumb, but it dwells here. And that is the Ishano Bhuta Bhavyasya. That is the Lord of the past and future. Knowing which, you have to add, having Tadnatva na tataha vijugupsate. One does not work for security, there is no bhayam, there is no fear, because there is no duality. This is what in Nachiketa you had asked for. Next mantra also is similar. Angushtamatra purushaha jyotihi iva adhumaka. See, the first half of the first line is same. What it is? Angushtamatra purusha, correct? Look at mantra number 12. What does it say? Angushtamatra purusha. 13th line mantra, Angushtamatra purusha. Second line, Ishano Bhuta Bhavyasya. Here also Ishano Bhuta Bhavyasya. Then he says, only difference is same. First line, second half is Madhya Atmani Tishtati. It is there in the Atma, self, body. Atma is here, body. Madhya, in the body, it is said. And here is the Jyotihi Iva Adhumakaha. Okay? What is, it is like a Jyotihi Iva, like a flame. When you say flame, that means there is some smoke always. It is a smokeless flame. It is like a smokeless flame. And say he is the Ishano Bhuta Bhavasya Sa Evadya Sa Ushvaha. That is today and it is going to be tomorrow also. This is what Nachikheta you had asked for. Now just listen. This thumb is a unique anga that Bhagavan has given to humanity. Panchanakha. Most of the activities, all that we do is thumb. Think of any activity or all the activities that you do, it always involves thumb. When you wake up in the morning and try to do brush, you need thumb. Correct? You take bath, hold the soap, you need thumb. You hold the towel and dry the body, you need thumb. Wear the clothes, you need thumb. Correct? Then cooking, Indian cooking, you need thumb. Roti banana, you need thumb. Sabji, you want to cut vegetables. That is across the globes. Every woman cuts the vegetable. You need thumb. Eating also you need thumb. Even if it is a typical Keralian or Tamilian food, but you have to eat like this. Then you need thumb. You need thumb to eat. Without thumb, they masticate that outside. They smash it here. They do like this, and from this Bahir comes, all Puranatvam comes out from here. And then they do like this. Then I asked them, it was new for us when we went to Puja Swamiji 45 years ago, and then we were taught that you should not spoil your hand beyond this point. Second, Bija Vedasi, if it is spoiled, we were punished. Don't you know how to eat? And this is tradition, this is Bharat, Vaividyam, varieties. And then they said, so Puja Swamiji used to say, look at that Pandita, what a traditional person. He used to say, he is eating like this. That's okay. And then they eat sometimes because spill. At least year after year it goes. They have to lick that. And then see, it's good, I discovered benefit. They eat in banana leaf, this one, One must eat in banana leaf. Because when we grew up, and I learned little English in 8th grade, we were told this statements, proverb. Eat while you eat, and sleep while you sleep. Talk while you talk. Don't talk in between while talking. While eating, children will talk. No, eat while you eat. If you eat in banana leaf, and they don't have any bowl, no spoon. So when rasam is poured, banana is like this, so it spills over either this side or this side. So they are always busy. So you are eating only. See, this is good. So you don't talk in between. I just don't know why they don't use balls. Even buttermilk, they say, give me here, and then pour that. We take a ball or a glass, but they don't. No spoon, no ball, no glass. You have to eat. And I am so trained with this, especially in Saurashtra, here. Vegetable is not put straight in the dish. There is also a small dish. In between they give vegetable. So everything is contained in something. Everything is not contained, and nothing is contained in something. And these leaves are little oily, so spilling becomes faster. So they are so busy in warding off the thing to not to know. Anyway, you need thumb. Any activity. Even if you say, no, I don't eat South, I'm American style, British, fork, but you need thumb, fork and knife. And imagine if thumb was not there, this whole 5G revolution would have been useless. WhatsApp, how will you do? How will you type your things, it's there. So for all karmas, thumb is necessary. So it is a symbol of Atma. Okay? Thumb is Satta Spurti Pradata. It gives you Satta and Spurti. Necessary. Now I can say for knowledge also thumb necessary. In those days you couldn't, because this is all WhatsApp knowledge. This is all Facebook knowledge. You operate the mobile. Nowadays hardly people use computer. And now this iPad they use more than laptop. Of course, companies guys use it. But there also you need mouse to hold the mouse, thumb. And to write also, you need thumb. This is Atma. And this finger is in English rightly called as index finger. Index means what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 chapters. Index means duality. Index means multiplicity, segregation, divisions. Index means the whole thing has been divided into different chapters. So this is symbol of Ahankara. This is when there is a who did it, schools, we were not taught. But second standard, third standard, teacher asked, who has done the homework? I have done, ma'am. I have done. And if he is alone, then he will shake the hand. I have done it. Correct? So this is a accusing finger also. Hey, you! That means this is Ahankara, which shows you duality, Dvaita. Now this mudra, Chin mudra, called Chin mudra, is symbolism of Ahankara merging into Brahman or Atma. And when you do this, there is a Purnaha, circle. So when Ahankara merges into Atma, means Ahankara discovers Atma as a substratum. Ahankara is not separate from Atma. That discovery, I am because of that. It is like the beggar B merges into actor A. There is no merging as such. Here there is a physical union, but that is a discovery. Beggar B discovers I am not separate from actor. I am one with actor. So this is symbol of knowledge. And what are these three fingers? These three fingers symbolizes Trigunaha, Sattva, Rajas and Tamas. So Ahankara originally was with three gunas. That 14th chapter, Gunatita, he was identified. When you de-identify with gunas, Nistrai Gunyo Bhavarjuna, Nirdandvaha, Trigunya Vishnu. This is Nistrai Gunyam. When that is, then you discover Purnatvam and you become a Sakshi or different from these three guna and their karya. Understand? This is mudra, Acharya's source. Bhagavad Shankaracharya has that. See now, above my head, you can see this side, Shankaracharya ji having this mudra. So, this is a symbol of Atma. So it is said, Angushta Matraha. Self is of the size of thumb. It is not literally. If self was like this, it would become a button cell. Small button cell battery. No, then how can it be Mahan? How can it be Paripurna? So it's symbolically. And the sthana, the place in the heart for Ahankara is this. I have done Hridaya. symbolically. So some meditations are there where you meditate on Atma in the heart, which is size of thumb. Actually, a formless vastu cannot have any size. That which is Ananta, Satyam Gnanam, Anantam Brahma, cannot have a size, apparent size. And this self is consciousness. And the consciousness is called as light. Why it is called light? Light illumines the thing. And in the light of consciousness, you know the things. In English and all other language, there is a usage, throw some light. And give me knowledge. So knowledge. So when you say a consciousness is nature of light, it means it is of the nature of knowledge. Gnanam, pragnanam brahma. So therefore, meditate on this Purusha as a light. What kind of light? Adhumakaha. Therefore there is no smoke. It is not literally fire, okay? Don't think of some fire inside. And that is Ishano Bhuta Bhavyas. That is one with the Ishvara. Is the creator. From Upadana Karanam, I am not separate. So Evadya Sausvaha. That which is today, that alone is going to be in future. That means it is beyond time. Beyond time means time cannot touch it. And it is the cause of the time. Kala Titaha generally is thought to be that you live long. 100 years, 200 years you live. That fellow is Kala Tita. No. That Kala Titaha means time cannot touch it. Not within the realms of time. Not within the realms of time means it is nirvikari. No vikara. Time means modification. It has no modification whatsoever. See the last two mantras. Yathodakam durge vrishtam parvateshu vidhavati evam dharman prathak pashyan tane vanu vidhavati yathodakam durge vrishtam parvateshu vidhavati evam dharman prathak pashyan tane vanu vidhavati yathodakam shuddhe shuddham आसिक्तं तादृगेव भवति यथोदकं शुद्धे शुद्धम् आसिक्तं तादृगेव भवति तादृगेव यथोदकं शुद्धे शुद्धम् आसिक्तं तादृगेव भवति एवं मुनेर्विजानतः आत्मा भवति गौतम. He says, Yatha Durge Vrishtam. What? Udakam. Just as the water which falls, the rain water, on Durga. Durga means mountain. One meaning. Durga means obstacles also. Mataji is called Durga. That doesn't mean she is mountain. Okay? In Sanskrit, each word has many meanings. So one of the meaning of Durga is obstacle. The one who removes obstacle is Durga. One who removes all dukkhas in our life. One who removes all agonies of life. That is Durga. And ultimate dukkha is ignorance. She removes ignorance. Mata. Therefore there is upasana, Matru upasana. Navaratri. And on Vijayadashmi, what do? Ravana Hananam. That is Ahankara Hananam, ultimately. Okay? Yathodakam Durge Vrishtam. When the water rained on mountains, Parvateshu Vidhavati. It falls or it slopes down, It runs down on different slopes. Okay? That means what? That water gets spreaded away all over. Correct? In a remote mountain, the water falls, it gets spreaded away. If you have to understand this, you have to add little. If that water had not spreaded away and on the mountain, but got collected in a stream, and that stream would have merged into river, then it would have reached to ocean. Reaching ocean is reaching the Gantavya. What is the goal? Every river has only one goal, to run down to ocean. So it fulfills the goal of human life. It fulfills the purpose of human existence. What is the goal? Moksha. That means here implying, if one keeps on pursuing different sense organs, one is not clear about the priorities of life. Today he or she pursues some money and some power and some position and some connection and all that. The life gets wasted. Human birth gets wasted away. But if consolidated, all efforts are put in together, if all the waters that fell on the ocean, on the mountain, got together and formed a stream. And that means if one lives a focused life, not wasting all the energies in different pursuits, one will gain to moksha, samudra. That's a gantavya. That's all every human heart wants. Everybody is mumukshu. Whether you call yourself or not, whether you live a special life or not, everybody is what? Moktum ichchu. You are wanting freedom. What freedom? Freedom from dukkha. That's all everybody wants. Dukkha, the cause of dukkha may be subjective. For one person, dukkha is I have less money. Other person, dukkha is I have no money. Third person, dukkha is I have not good house. Other person, dukkha may be I have a good house. Let's say downsize. This American downsize. House is too big. You have to downsize the house. Who bought it? Who made it big? We only bought it. This is how the cycle round, goes there, works double shift, triple shift, hard, makes some money, then looks for some spouse, partner, girl or a man, woman or man, get married, have children, have dreams, provide the best car, the best home for children. When he was staying in some room, then got into condo, then when they got married, and they thought before children comes, let us make some money. They bought a house, small house, 2-bedroom house, got promotion. After 5 years, they bought a 5-bedroom house with 2 acres of land. Huge estate. By then, children are in 8th grade. And when they pass 12th, the whole system is yad gatva na nivartante. Once they are gone for study, they don't come back to the same state. And then they come in the vacation, they come for vacation. You ask them, why are you keeping such a big house? No, children come in vacation. and then they invite them with the friends, at least to use the house. By that time, lady has become in her 40s and 50s. The man is on that age, lot of money but no manpower. It is not India. See, India is a punya bhumi that you have servants, homemade people. You don't have to do anything. That is not a punya bhumi. You may be billionaire, but you have to wash your car. It is chakachak ready. In Junagadh there is one chakachak Maharaj. I don't know what her name. He created problem and I had to rush the day before. Chakachak Maharaj. So he has to do, and then after they have a job and they wait for the marriage, and then the Swamiji, now we have to downsize from house to downsize. And some of them end up in condos, just one bedroom. Nobody comes. We are old. What to do? That is what to do. This question should have arisen 30 years ago. That time you thought this is Sarvasva. I made the life. Anyway, coming back to this, they will gain the root. The ocean is a place from which the water came. Evaporation and condensation and all that. So, if it falls at different places on a peak of the mountains, it just runs down through different slopes to different places. Similarly, dharman prathak pashyan. Here dharma shabda is used for individual, atma, jivatma. Okay? Why it is used the dharma? Nachiketa also he has used the word. Anyatra dharmat, anyatra dharmat. Anyatra kruta krutacha. Yat tat pashyasi tad vada. So dharma is dharayati, which holds what? Shariram. Shariram dharayati iti dharma. That means atma, jivatma. So jivatman prathak pashyan. The fellow sees multiplicity. Everybody is different. Everybody is distinct from each other, etc. Then what happens? Tanevanu dhavati. So then he goes after that. That means the seer of Dvaita goes after what? Different bodies. Simple. He goes after different births and then goes after different deaths. Okay? And he says, if otherwise, yatha shuddhe shuddham asiktam. Shuddhe udake shuddham udakam asiktam. Okay? In a pure water, shuddhe udake udakam asiktam. Another water is added. Then what is beckoned when a pure water is added in, just as pure water is added to another pure water, it becomes the same. It becomes pure. Why pure water added to pure? Even non-Ganga water added to Ganga water becomes Ganga. Similarly, Atma, Jivatma, individuality, when it becomes one with the self, he or she becomes Nitya Shuddha Buddha Mukta Subhava. They become ever free. Then they become as though knowing everything, because it is your nature. It is not pouring in. It is not literally merging Jivatma to Paramatma. Usko mil jana hai. And this, I remember in those days I have seen a picture of Mirabai. Those days such pictures used to come. Not like modern pictures. There is no theme except love and fighting. That's the only theme they have. So Mira's picture, and then Mira was such a great devotee, and then they will say Krishna, Krishna, Krishna. And there will be big Krishna. As she approaches, she becomes smaller, smaller, smaller. And she enters the body of Krishna and disappears. That is what merging. It is not so. If it were so, that means Bhagavan is away from you. You have to still become one. That means there is Dvaitam. There is a duality. And that means that since it's duality, that means each one is limited. I limit him and he limits me. Limited means you are subject to modification, vikaras. That means subject to death. So Bhagavan is no more worthy to be called as Bhagavan. So, what it says, what it means is Shuddhe Shuddham Asiktam. Merging is only figurative. Okay? Meera has to discover that I am one with the Lord. That's all. That is merging of Jivatma into Paramatma. This ho gaya. Evam muner vijanata atma bhavati. The mananashila, a contemplative one who knows this, he becomes pure. Means he becomes, when you become one with Brahman, you become Brahman. Etadvaitat enachiketa, this is what you had asked for. Gracharyaji very nicely, at least the sentence what he writes, concluding, but I didn't ask you to conclude. How do you know? It is concluding. But Tasmat, having studied, all of you should, this is the sentence which is take home. Take home. Therefore, having studied this, Tasmat kutarkika veda drashtim nastika kudrashtim cha ujjitva matru pitru sahasrebhyah api hiteshina vedena upadishtam atma ekatva darshanam shanta darpaihi adarniyam ityartha. One should give respect. Adarniya means one should commit. One should pursue that. What? He says, Vedena upadishtam. What is taught by Veda? What is Veda is teaching? Atma ekatva darshanam. There is the upadesha of non-duality. All Atmas are same, or the self is one with Ishvara. That is ekatva darshanam. So that ekatva darshanam, what has to be done? Adaraniyam, should be respected, should be owned up. How? Shanta darpaihi adaraniyam. One has to become quiet. Mind should be free. Mind should be pure. With a pure mind, you should own up the vision of the Shruti, that is ekatmata, non-duality, having owned up. Why should I own up? How should I own up? He says, kutarkika, the Veda drashti. The Veda is born out of not tarka but kutarkika. Not rational, but using the buddhi otherwise. That is called kutarkika. They just want to justify the argument. These are all debate fellows, live debate TV fellows, they are kutarkika. The fellow asks something and this fellow replies something. Kutarkika drashtim. What you should do? Ujjitvat. Throw away. Remove and throw away. Like a weed, you just take it out and throw. That is called ujjitva. Throw away. Remove it from the mind. Kutarkika drashti. Have Shraddha on Veda. Why should I put my time on Vedas? Because he says, Matru Pitru Shastrebhyaha. Shruti is compassionate or caring more than thousands of parents. Parent can, even worldly parent, lower parents can give some advice which is useful to you or may not be. But Shruti is more compassionate. How many times? 100. Means infinitely more compassionate than other parents. You should give it up. Don't hold on to Dvaita Drishti. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.
प्रसन्नचित दिख रहे हैं, ऊर्जा से भरे दिख रहे हैं। और ये जिस कार्यक्रम का प्रतीक्षा थी, जिस कार्यक्रम का इंतजार था, देखिए प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी, उनका भाव भंगिमा देखिए, उनकी आप देख सकते हैं कितने आत्मविश्वास से और ऊर्जा से उनका स्वागत वहां पर किया जा रहा है प्रधानमंत्री नरेंद्र मोदी का। बहुत बड़ा दिन, बहुत बड़ा अवसर आज का।
मंदिर के इस प्राण प्रतिष्ठा महोत्सव का नामाभिधान फेस्टिवल ऑफ हार्मनी यानी कि संवादिता का महोत्सव रखा गया है। उसको सार्थक करे ऐसा एक निदर्शन अभी हम यहाँ देख रहे हैं। भारत के विभिन्न 10 राज्यों के परंपरागत परिवेश में सज्ज प्रजावर्ग माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री का स्वागत कर रहा है। दक्षिण भारत का प्रतिनिधित्व करता हुआ तमिलनाडु, केरल और आंध्र प्रदेश का प्रजावर्ग यहाँ उपस्थित है। तो यहाँ उत्तर भारत का प्रतिनिधित्व करते हुए पंजाब, राजस्थान आदि राज्यों के परंपरागत परिवेश में सज्ज जनता उपस्थित है। पश्चिम भारत का प्रतिनिधित्व करते हुए यहाँ गुजरात और महाराष्ट्र के परंपरागत परिवेश में सज्ज दर्शक समुदाय प्रधानमंत्री श्री का स्वागत कर रहा है। तो पूर्व भारत का प्रतिनिधित्व करते हुए ओडिशा और पश्चिम बंगाल का परंपरागत परिवेश में सज्ज प्रजावर्ग माननीय प्रधानमंत्री श्री का स्वागत कर रहा है।
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ओम शांति शांति शांति। श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पादं शङ्करं लोकशङ्करं। शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं। सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। ईश्वरो गुरुरात्मेति मूर्तिभेदविभागिने व्योमवद्व्याप्तदेहाय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। Yes. Questions?
Swami, can you tell us something more about the Ram Mandir that you visited and your impression seen in the video and everything, your personal.
कहाँ गए वो दूसरे कहाँ आपकी जोड़ी इधर ही बैठो आगे. You want to know about the history or the new one?
Your impression of the current structure, how the organization is running, and whether
How the
organization, whether they're taking the money just like the other temples, money is being taken, or it's being used by the temple itself.
Well, it's too early to talk about money. Hardly a month has gone. I mean, month and 10
But there's a
days.
lot of money that has been
It
donated.
will come. Primarily, it's only part of it built. As I said, it's almost more than 100 and plus acre land. And the other shikharas of temple are yet to be built, 3 or 5. So, and they want to create infrastructure, one of the best requirement of modern society, keeping in mind this need of the modern society. So they will need lot of money as such. There is a plan, as I said, to have a nakshetra food which can feed minimum 50,000 people or lakh of people. Imagine the cost of it itself. Even lakh of people eating at a cost of 50 lakhs per day. So 15 crores per month. And I don't think that is the income now, as of now. Of course, then building rooms, infrastructure, internal transport, then water supply, plantation, all things have to be done. It was an open land, but specifically converted to suit that they function with mandap, etc. Like our this lawn, you don't know. On Shivratri is all different get-up. So it is too early to talk about money. And I am sure the people there are primarily, it's all VHP, RSS background, very senior people. So they will use for nation building all that money. So for Adivasis and for poor and all kinds of things, they have enough programs, enough institutions, so that temple income will aid a lot of their programs, projects which are like Ekal Vidyalayas, schools in Adivasi Kshetras, hospitals. Like that there are so many, endless. It will take some time. Well, it's a gorgeous temple, that's all I can say. Very gorgeous. You feel that you are going to Devta, I mean, the very entry and all that. And Garbhagriha is very big. And Vigraha is Balarama. The Rama is a child. And as I said, Vigraha generally should be of black granite, not of marble. Marble is a very weak stone in terms of chemical reaction. It precipitates if alkaline things are poured or acidic. So traditionally all vigrahas are of granite across India, old temples. Modern temples have so many marble Vigraha. It looks good. And to bring out bhava in granite is something rare. Looks like the Bhagavan is just talking. That's very beautiful Vigraha. They have to set the system also for darshanam. People to come in and go and sort of directives to move around how and how not. They will do it, I suppose. They are working on it, but it will take time. I have not been there since then. And now the work will proceed at a very slow pace because so many devotees coming. They cannot. It was an open place for them to work then. Now it's little more challenging.
So why is Bal Rama Swamiji?
It's Janmasthanam. What we see generally is Sitaram, Lakshman, Ram, Sita, Lakshman, Kodanda Rama, who has a bow and arrow. This is a birthplace. And the birthplace, the time that he stayed was only teenage type, boyish type. Then went to, of course, main 12 years went to Lanka. Forest and then Lanka and came back. It's a teenage child, not even teenage, Balaka, 8-9 years old. Kumar Avastha.
Swamiji, there is a Nama Ahanye Budhnyaya Namaha in this. Could you please explain the meaning?
Okay. What's her question? You asked something?
5 years Ram, I told.
Huh?
5 years.
5 years. Because Janmasthanam. So they don't want to have a grown-up Rama.
So the original Rama which was in the hut before, it's still there, right? At the feet of...
It is there.
No, the statue is not.
It is used as Utsavamurti.
That before it was built, there was a Vigraha, small Vigraha. But that Vigraha is very small, like Laddu Gopal Krishna Sai. So it is there, but then therefore it has been kept as a Utsav Vigraha.
No, they are keeping the same.
At that distance also will not be easy to proper.
Yeah, but it's the same spot. Yeah, same.
But that is also recently, 50, 70 years old, I think.
No, what?
What's a small statue?
Small statue.
Somebody kept in the night.
They say night, and there are two versions. It was a chamatkar that he appeared. It just appeared. Or not, and then say, no, it can't appear. It is was discovered in the night.
And the person who discovered in the night was the Muslim policeman or something, right? Security.
Yes,
Then the Pejavara Swamiji put it in that place, old place, Udupi Pejavara Swamiji.
It was outside, they say, Ram Chabuta earlier. And that has come inside
In the tent.
There are few historic places there. It's quite a few. They will have plans to renovate all those Sita Rasoi Guru and Khel Guru and all kinds of things. Some of them are recorded by British fellow who traveled and asked people. One good thing is about our culture, that is people say it's bad, but it is good also nowadays. That we don't have any documentation. No. We don't have documentation written. That not there because we always trusted our parents. Parents said it's enough, we don't need any paper. And so, like Kula Devata, Surapura, etc., there is no documentation why this is our Kula Devata, Kula Mata, etc. My parents told me that this is our Kul Devata and we should go. Every couple after marriage should go. That's enough. People go. Similarly, this is like places like this, there is not much documentation. The Britishers or some scholars went by and asked, what is this, what is that? People told. Likewise, we are working on this Gita Jayanti. Haryana government has started for 8-9 years, introduced Gita Ji in school, and then we thought of let's have Mahabharat tourism. Khattar Ji has done a lot of research and kept a team of people where sort of Duryodhana was killed, where this Abhimanyu was killed, where Bhishma Pitamaha, of course that place is same, Gita Upadesha. I mean, not Gita Upadesha, Bhishma Pitamaha fell. Like that, some 80, 900 around places have been identified by scholars. And now, that research is paper you have to dug out. But the people of the villages kept talking about the same thing. You know, कि ये अभिमन्यु का स्थान है. There is a place.
Still vacant this area.
Now they are developing as a tourist sort of yatra place. Like if you go to Porbandar, the place is famous because of Gandhiji. He was born there. But actually it is a Sudama Puri. But now somebody has built a temple. People tell this is where Sudama was. So that's how Karnopakarna, for generation to generation, they discovered the places. What happened when. So in Ayodhya, so many places have been discovered like that. Where to visit, what to visit. Chabutra, Ram Chabutra and Sita Rasoi and all kinds of things.
Swamiji, what happened that Acharya Sabha fighting the case in the Supreme Court regarding temples, Hindu temples?
The case has already been filed 11 years ago.
Oh, they not at inquiry.
You know, because of certain judicial procedures, they can delay windows. Finally, it has come on board. Submissions are over. All the state governments has given. It is on argument state. But there also some dates after dates are going. It's not coming for a final hearing. And fortunately, Supreme Court has issued notice to center also. That you should make. The thing is, our constitution is concurrent. And some subjects belong to center, some belong to state, exclusive subjects. Like primary education and law and order is a primarily state subject. Higher education, defense, foreign policy, exclusively central subject. This temple issue falls in a state subject.
Yes, religious endowment.
Therefore, even if a party, a state ruled by BJP passes a law in assembly and makes a law, suppose after 5 years Congress comes in and they change the law, like what they did in Karnataka, go Raksha law. So that's how we got center involved. Let's see how things move. It is a very long, drawn and slow process. It will take time. It's not going to solve in a day.
What would it take to make the temple as part of the central government? Is it they have to change the constitution?
Temple cannot be made central government because there are more than 5 lakhs temple. So you can't say this is Swamiji's kutia, but this is head office tiles. And the style belongs to head office. You can't make it. What we can do is in temple governance and administration, the center should have right to make a universal policy, uniform policy.
For the religious institutions.
Exactly.
Yeah.
First, the policy same for all religions and Hindu religion also. Some say may be variable. Principally, what is applicable to all should be there. Some exemptions are there with Muslim places and Christian places of worship, but not Hindu. It's a very complicated issue, not simple. And when funds management is also going to be a big issue. It will involve a lot of funds, a lot of money.
No, but they also have, like the other religious, they have fund issue. Why they don't worry about those fund issues?
Pardon? Other
like churches or mosques, they have fund issues too, but nobody highlights that. Only they highlight the Hindu temples fund issues.
What to do? You can't push media house to do this and that. They may be having their agenda, or means their whatever policy. Let's put it that way.
There is a problem with Hindu society also. See, it's a Christian thing. If they agree to somebody, nobody will oppose. They don't quarrel among themselves. In Hindu, that problem comes. To our sect, it should belong. And who will own the temple if it is made private? Recent, about 5 years back, the Karuna temple, what you heard? No. It was handed over to one of the Swamiji. And there the Swamiji made the infrastructure very well and very maintenance was very good and all. The same Brahmins, Pandas who were there earlier, their income got cut. No? And then they created some news about Swamiji and they all nonsense happened actually. Actually, things was going well. So that is very difficult in Hindu society. That is one of the problem. Who have worked in Hindu society, they know.
In fact, Temples were taken over by the government because of internal fight only.
Yes, yes. So many new temples also government people themselves.
So among the trustee, if one is ambitious to become president and other fellow becomes,
Yes.
then he writes a letter, there is a financial irregularity, then the government comes in for inquiry and then takes over.
Like that also.
Whosoever
Big
connection
temples,
makes it.
New temples, famous and popular temples are taken.
It is only on the one issue of Ram temple, the whole Hindu society, most of the things is united for no other purpose, only on that. That too, it was more in north, above the Godavari, less in south. There was a survey what was done in 90s.
Swamiji, this mantra Om Namo Bhagavate Vaivasvataya can be chanted regularly or only when we chant Kathopnishad?
And chant regularly. It is written by Bhashyakara.
Explain the meaning.
But why should you chant that? Why should you remember Yamaraja daily? Dharmaraja. It is like, nowadays the fashion, everywhere they build Shani temple. Actually, Shani should not be remembered. Let him be where it is and you keep away. Shani is to be invoked only if you have a problem. This should not. There weren't any temples of Shani Devata across India. Across India there were. Now every temple has a Shani. And if nothing is there, they have a black stone. In Ahmedabad ashram, behind the temple there is a black stone. It is a Shani Devata. During Acharya Sabha, I cleaned up and made it to Swaha, Sabarmati. By the time I came here again, another stone came and somebody put an idol under a tree. Shani Devata. And they pour oil. Now tree is on the verge of dying because oil goes to the roots. Somehow people don't understand. Hindi movies showed, Shani became popular. Hindi movies showed Sai Baba, he became popular. New Bhagavan, latest. Okay, if there is no question, we may close.
Swamiji, I have a question.
Yeah.
Like in morning we talk about meditation. So what is a short and crisp definition of meditation according to Vedanta?
There is a Hindu definition. Vedanta doesn't have any separate definition. Okay? That there is no definition for meditation. Because our original word is upasana. That they translate as meditation, which is not true. Upasamipe asanam, the upasana. Upasana, upasamipe, asanam. And sitting near, abiding near Ishvara, that is implied. So, any meditation which doesn't involve Ishvara is not upasana. It is meditation. And Shastra or Vedanta don't know what meditation is. When we say upasana, it necessarily involves Ishvara, some mantra, some puja, some japa, etc. Manasa Vyapara, it is a mental activity. What kind of activity? Sajatiya vritti pravaha rupaha, vijatiya vritti rahitaha, saguna brahma vishayaka manasa vyapara. Mind is free from any thoughts which is in a position or it doesn't fall in the same category as what you want to meditate. Sajatiya Vijatiya vritti pravaha rahita, free from those thoughts. Sajatiya vritti pravaha rupaha man saguna brahma vishayaka manasa vyapara dhyanam. That's it. nothing to do with this stoning the mind, being thoughtless, seeing dots, seeing light, all that is nothing to do.
Just because when we, like, say our mind, you have to be thoughtless, then more thought comes to our mind.
Then what?
More thoughts come to our mind.
Yeah, but this is, to be thoughtless is like saying you should be breathless. You can't. If you remain breathless, you will die. You will be breathing in and out as long as you are alive, full stop. As long as you are alive, thoughts will come. Mind is designed to think. And if you have to stop thinking and if you have to stop being thinking person, what for is meditation? Meditation, Rishis should tell something which will help you to grow, not to make you stone. This is thoughtlessness. This is really thoughtless concept. Understand? Thoughtless mind is a concept of a thoughtless mind, product of some non-thinking person. Mind cannot be. Mind is designed to think. Like a car on a slope cannot remain stationary at one place. It is designed to move. So that's not a meditation. Whenever you talk of meditation, do it upasana. Some Bhagavad Japa. That is also meditation.
But this is Patanjali's yoga, Chittarutti Nirodha.
You have to understand what does Nirodha means. Nirodha doesn't mean giving up all thoughts. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Mudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om. Namami Bhagavatpadam Shankaram Lokashankaram Shankaram Shankaracharyam Keshavam Badarayanam Sutravashakutau Vande Bhagavantau Punah Punah Ishvaro Gururatmeti Murti Bheda Vibhagine Vyomavad Vyapta Dehaya Dakshinamurtaye Namaha. Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Oh. No questions? So there is one.
Well, I think yesterday we answered. What pending?
No question.
I have a question. I just didn't get a chance to write.
Okay. Go ahead.
Well, after class this afternoon, talking about Vipassana, and thinking about it, it seems to me that everywhere in the Shastra, there's something to be said about how to live. About how to live.
How to live, yeah.
And the 6th chapter of the Gita is meditation. And I was thinking about that and thinking, well, that's kind of a distraction, because meditation, upasana, as you were laying it out, is throughout the entire Shastra. And that informs us how to become the meditative person that we seek to be. So then I was in my head, and a little bit of writing on paper, I was going to the task of thinking about everywhere that I know in Shastra that would lead to laying out a path for, just specifically saying, if I want to embody this meditative person, where in Shastra would I look specifically? And for me, as a teacher, that would be really helpful. So then I was thinking of asking you, you know, to like codify that, like go here, 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 because there's so many places to go.
True, Shastra is full of guidelines of how to live. And it is equally true, as I mentioned, most of the people ask how to meditate. This is a wrong question. It is like asking Swamiji, how to audit the accounts of a company. First, whether I would like to know whether you are a chartered accountant or not. You are asking how to operate a patient, whether are you a doctor? Similarly, to be a meditative person is more important than meditation itself. One thing, and little elaborate answer to your question. Shastra is full of Yoga Shastra. That's two subjects of Gita. Brahma Vidyayam Yoga Shastra. See, knowledge is immediate. There is no Kala Vyavadhana. Means you operate the means of knowledge and after some time you gain knowledge. That's not the case. Your eyes, ears are open and I am talking. Right there and then you know what I have talked. It is not like TV debate, Indian TV debate. The fellow speaks and after 3 seconds, you hear the voice. It's slow. That's not the case. So you open the eyes and you see the form and a color immediately. That is why you are able to drive in India. Because some scooter comes and some cycle wala comes and nothing is there, some dog will come. So your reflexes should be sharp. But then recognition should take place first. Reflexes to act. Knowledge is necessary. So Brahman is immediate. They are all Mahatmas. Don't know Brahman, therefore they complicate. See, this is another confusion. Knowledge is very difficult. Who said so? And now they say bhakti is simple. Nonsense. You do japa for 5 minutes, you will know what is bhakti. You can't concentrate. He starts with Sri Krishna Sharanam Mama, 3 mantras and gone. Bhakti is not simple. To do bhakti, you need again certain infrastructure here. Simplest is knowledge and most difficult is knowledge. 2 things required, in absence of which knowledge is most difficult, in presence of which knowledge is most simple. Extreme. There is no in between in knowledge. And most of them don't have these 2 things, so they say, oh, Vedanta is difficult, knowledge is difficult, yoga will say yoga is simple, bhakti fellows will say bhakti is simple, karma yoga will say karma yoga is simple, but everybody blames knowledge. That's not true. If you are ready, knowledge is simple. And if you love, it is simplest. Remember your school days, primary, secondary, not higher secondary, secondary school days. We had homework to do. Out of 8 periods, 6 periods were academic, 2 were extra curricular, either drawing or PT or something like that. So out of the 6, 3 or 4 minimum would give homework. And as a children, not only homework but going to school itself we didn't like. Homework is out of issue. because there was no so much pressure as modern kids or as these kids have had it. We used to come home and throw the bag and go out and play. Whole evening was meant for us. Morning 10 o'clock is the school, you finish it off in 1 hour and that's it. We had a time. We were not deprived of our childhood in terms of education, academic pressure. Now, I still remember everybody, at least couple of my friends, boys are friends in the school, at least one guy. One subject I hated most, two in fact, but one of them had no much homework. One was drawing. I hardly used to pass out in drawing because I follow Gandhiji's principle from childhood. So I have taken up Gandhiji's virtues. His handwriting were very bad. So I didn't like drawing. Never improved. And second was subject which I most disliked. I was so happy when it was said that next year you don't have this. That was history. Social science, history, geometry and civic science. Geometry was okay. Geography. Civic science was okay, but history I just didn't like. Because Indian history school is full of Mughal history and British. The atrocities they did on us. And they will ask, when did Babur put his first foot in India? Which year? When Humayun or Shahjahan was born? You have to write the year. I used to wish he was not born. His mother had a miscarriage. These idiots should not have been born. And when Babur put Gujarati, first lake, in English there is no phrase, in Gujarati, Pehlo pag kyare mukhyo, kya mukhyo. So where did he enter first? And which year? That's a translation. But they said fit. When did he put his feet? I used to feel why there was nobody to break his foot. Somebody should have finished it. I didn't like. Because it created a sense of wretchedness, helplessness, very ill feeling. So children develop negativity by studying this history. I never liked. So history homework was the last thing to do. And that too, I will come in a school and copy paste with a friend. He somehow loved history. I was mathematics lover. So whenever there was, generally last period is free, some time. So I used to finish maths homework in the school. That's only I loved. Homework would finish maths first. And that fellow used to finish history. Now, there were some guys who loved Hindi. They would finish Hindi first. There were some guys who did Gujarati. They finished Gujarati. Some loved geometry. They finished geometry like that. For me, maths was simple. Not difficult. Because fundamentals were clear. I was ready. Every grade, I was ready for maths. I was adhikari. 6th grade, when I came in, my maths up to 5th was clear fundamentals. I enjoyed 8th, 7th, 6th, etc. Somehow he had been weak in the maths, so he didn't like it. History I didn't like because of my psychic background. That was my personal issue. So when you love the subject and when you are ready to learn, it is simple. Maths I never had to be repeated again. And there are guys who did PhD in history. They loved it. Knowledge is simple if you are ready for it. So, and you love it. And if you understand, you just but love knowledge. You have no option but to fall in love with it. Why? Knowledge is Ishvara Swarupa. Ishvara is Pragnanam Brahma, Chidananda, Chit Swarup. That Chit is Ananda. So knowledge always gives Ananda. And more happiness you have, more you love it. Happiness is love, and love is happiness. You love somebody with whom you are happy. You don't love somebody with whom you are unhappy. I love you because you give me a lot of dukkha. Nobody says so. I love you because you make me happy. That's it, the same. So love and happiness are synonyms. And they both manifest when the knowledge manifests, because knowledge is Ananda, Ananda is knowledge. Vidyananda Brahmananda. That Archimedes, our story, that Archimedes who discovered that fellow came out in a birthday suit. He just lost Dehatma Buddhi. He didn't even recognize that I am man. The joy. Every scientist, every research guy, they will not be interested in worldly pleasures, going to movie and cosmetics and nothing. I know in Ahmedabad there is a ISRO, Indian Space Research Organization, very prime institute for space. The head of the ISRO, I know him well, and he comes to me, and hardly he comes but 3-4 months, but then comes and I go. That fellow comes to office at 9:30 and goes back home after 1:30 p.m. a.m. not p.m. a.m. Comes at 9:30 a.m. goes back at home at 1:30 a.m. minimum, sometimes 2:30. They are given special security because scientists, America and Russia skilled so many Indian scientists, especially research scientists. I mean, that is what's said, but they somehow were found dead. So many fellows. He is a master, fit to be head of Indian ISRO. And this Chandrayaan, it landed on the moon, he had a major role. And he took me, I saw 2 hours demo, all digital, and I moved around. Somehow he was kind enough to take me around. And the special cameras that he has been developed by him, his team. So he doesn't need to go to movie. He doesn't need to have cosmetics. If you look at him, you would feel he must be some clerk in government office. His shoes, his clothes, his look, he would look blank to us. He doesn't go to parties. He doesn't want his name in the newspapers. Nothing. Why? There is a fulfillment in knowledge. Because happiness is fulfillment. All research guys, these pharmaceutical companies makes billions of dollars. But their R&D chief has no share. He's paid. He may be paid $800,000 or $900,000 or $1 million a year, but the company will make billions. He doesn't care. So, knowledge is simple and immediate. In absence of that preparedness, Shastra knows people will not know, seekers. So they emphasize on and on the means. These Puranas and Ramayana Mahabharatas and certain traditions are full of Yoga Shastra. Do this, don't do that, do this way, do Upasana, do Puja, do Vrata, do Niyamas. Most of the Sampradayas are confined to that only in India. They take Mantra Diksha from us, do our Tikka, do Puja daily. They don't go beyond that. They just talk of some religious life. Spirituality they don't talk. And people are also not ready. So, Upanishads have less Yoga Shastra. Here and there somewhere you have to find it out. Though these mantras we saw, and I talked about Yoga Shastra, but Tatparya is not Yoga Shastra. His Tatparya is you are Ishvara, you are Hiranyagarbha, you are Virat. That's the Tatparya. Simple as that. And it will come tomorrow. Yataschodeti suryasta yasmin antam gacchati ityadi tat vidu, etc. So the same Tatparya. But other Shastras, Bhagavad Gita and other texts are full of Yoga Shastra. Yoga Shastra means anything that prepares you for knowledge. Yoga is by natural connotation, or Rudyartha, by popular meaning, is construed as asana pranyama, meditation. Not yama niyama asana. Asana pranyama, meditation. It's American Western yoga. But yoga means yujyate anena, anything that prepares you for knowledge. Thereby you are connected to knowledge. Yujyate gnanena anena saha. You are united, you are connected to knowledge through this. Therefore it is called yoga. So japa is also yoga, upasana is also yoga, yatra is also yoga, seva is also yoga. Anything, puja is yoga, yajna is yoga, anything is yoga. Provided it gives you antakaran shuddhi. Then, if you may work and find out all this, how many verses and shlokas, but it's of no use, it may not be that useful in a sense, which means one employs depends upon his or her background. Her background, both unconscious background and upbringing background. They may like this and the other fellow may like that. And it would be good if they take this from a teacher rather than we putting in a book form.
Well, the book would be for me.
For you, we can work out on that. Gita is the best Yoga Shastra. But the Gita's whole essence, nutshell is anything you do it as a Ishvara Buddhi. Simple as that. And form a habit of doing some upasana, either physical or verbal or mental.